as you can see, it starts to get pretty pedally, straight onto some bridges there, which at speed and when you're tired is very, very hard to stick on.
Yeah, and look at the speckled light in that as well. You know, lighting conditions. The great thing with this, you know, how many of the riders out there are wearing goggles, sunglasses? They're wearing the full face helmets on these downhill sections, and you can see from the light, the speckled light that's coming through the leaves there, making the ground very, very tricky to navigate through.
And it's relentless. Look at all these turns that the guys are going through. These are really, really difficult to stay on top of. And when you're racing, you're coming up the drops like this. Dude, that thing is terrifying at race pace. It feels so small when you are pinning it. Oh, bit of a mistake there, bit of a climb. These bits are where you want to throw your heart, throw your lungs through your mouth, and these things hurt a lot.
Yeah, especially when you think, you know, we've been coming down here the last few days. We've had some great rides up on this chairlift, on the, you know, the sculptured courses on our downhill bikes with boxer forks on there, running through the plush 8 inches of travel, you know, front and rear. But we're on these bikes here. Just run us through these, Josh. What sort of travel have we got on these bikes? What kind of setup are most of the guys running here?
So most of the guys running here are 160mm trail bikes. So they're quite aggressive, slacker head angles, you know, from 65 to 67 degree head angles. They pedal just like a cross-country bike going uphill, yet when you turn them down, they turn into a full-on downhill demon. They are super capable bikes, and on trails like this, they're exactly what you want. Anything less, it kind of makes life a lot more difficult.
And when you come to like an epic mountain like this, like Whistler, you know, you're saying, you know, 160 travel on the brake side of things. On our downhill bikes, we're usually running, you know, the 200mm, 8-inch discs. Would you upgrade your discs, your brakes, when you come into a course like this?
For sure. Yeah, I totally run 200mm rotors on my Trans 27.5 Giant. With the steeper tracks in France, we totally considered going to an Avid Code brake because they were so steep and you needed so much power. So you definitely run the bigger rotors to get rid of the heat, to slow you down. You know, these are really long descents, and in every aspect, most of them is downhill on trail bikes.
And when I was looking at the start line, the scrutineers were going on looking through the bikes. They check off the bikes, make sure nobody's swapping any of the components around. I'd probably guess around about 70% of the riders were running a single sort of SRAM chainring setup at the front. You know, is that going to be the case? Is that the one to go for this weekend, stop your chain from derailing? Or would you go for a double ring setup, which I know Tracy Mosley was. She was running a double ring setup on the front, one of the only few girls in that top 10 to do that. And then I looked across at Jared Graves a little bit later. He's running a single ring 38 tough. And I've seen so many guys on XX1 on the 30 tough front chain ring. You know, as what I would call it, the granny ring.
For sure. You definitely want that one ring. The thing about enduro, the times aren't climbed. Opposite. The climbs aren't timed. So if you need to, you can push up them. So you can afford to run a bigger gear. So when you pedal down the hills, it works out much better.
So many little things that come into it. How do you make that decision? Is it all about comfort at that point? Like this, I mean, because what you may feel, Josh, is the perfect setup for you. Someone else completely would think that's not a good setup at all. How do you guys determine what you ride?
Well, you just got to pick one that you're comfortable with, pick one that you train with all the time, and go with it. You know, there's so many different stages.
Talk about this stage right here, stage 3. This is another tough one. You've already done 2 stages. Now you're in stage 3. How are you holding up at this point?
Well, I think the tough thing about stage 3 is this guy's just came off a 50-minute climb, and that's really, really tough. It's straight in here, straight to a few sharp pedals, a few sharp corners, and away you go. The legs are sore, you're already hungry, you're starting to get a little bit tired, your arms are probably sore after those first 2 stages, so you've got to have your wits about you. As you can see, the light is still super hard. It's all speckled. It's pretty rowdy. So you've got to watch the trees, the rocks, everything. It's funny how quickly a tree can sneak up on you in these woods when you're not quite paying attention.
And trees don't really move that much, but they can sneak up on you when you're going that fast.
I'm telling you, they've got legs when you're in the middle of a race run. They move all the time.
Yo, I could have sworn that thing was about 2 feet over, man. What the heck just happened there?
And as you can see, it's just relentless. It keeps going on. As you can see through the speckles of light here that this isn't just flat ground. People with flats, that's going to be a huge factor for today. The ground is rooty, it's rocky, it's not flat, and this guy's working the whole time. You've got to sneak pedal strokes in whenever you can. You've got to hold onto your bike and focus on the trail ahead. And as much as you want to get rowdy and let it go, you've got to remember, this is only stage 3. They've got another one to go, and then they've got the monster of stage 5 here in the bike park to finish.
So this is stage 3. This is what some riders have just come down probably less than an hour or so ago that we've seen on the big screen that you can see now and at home there. What are the name of some of these trails that these guys are riding down?
These have some funny names. Do you know what they call it, Brad?
Oh man, there's so many different names out here that you guys.
Humpty Dumpty and Eeyore.
Who makes them up? Is it just the trail crew, the Whistler Bike crew, the people that are out here working on these things?
I don't know.
Does this get a name somewhere down the road?
I think so. I think it's an accumulation, and I'd say it's from the trail builders. When they're building the trail, something funny comes up, and all of a sudden, that's the trail.
I did a trail yesterday called the Dwayne Johnson.
The Dwayne Johnson.
Who's Dwayne Johnson?
I think that one is called the Dwayne Johnson because there's a massive rock in it. That's the main feature of the trail.
All right, it's Pura Vida to Baby Snake is what I'm getting in. So obviously, I think they found a baby snake, and that's how Baby Snake got its name. I'm just going to go with that.
How is the trail called Golden Boner?
Okay, now that's a tough one. I'm not going to really touch on that one because that's probably not what I'd want to touch on. But monkey hands, I was told, they found a petrified monkey hand when they were building that course, and that's how they came up with the name. I'm completely just throwing that out there. That's not true.
I think that stage there, you're going to need some monkey hands. You're going to need some gorilla hands to come fight down that stage. That's at the very end of you've probably hit 20 minutes of downhilling by that stage, and you're going to need some gorilla mitts to hold on and send it all the way to the finish.
Can you even straighten out your fingers after something like that? I mean, aren't they just locked into this position?
Oh yeah, you got to peel them bad boys off your handlebars. They're locked on, and once you get them off, then you reveal the calluses and the blood blisters. Then you got to unknot your forearms, and anyway, it all is fixed with a nice cold beer.
It is, and that's where the Bud Light kicks in for sure right there. And you can see overtaking is part of the racing, right?
This thing is a massive part of the racing. The gaps are like, some of the top guys will start this final stage with 1 minute gap between each. As the field goes down, they drop to 30 seconds, then they drop to 15. So 30 seconds on a 20-something minute trail, that's not much time. So as you can see, some people pull over. They've realized that you've already taken out a minute of them or 30 seconds. So they're pretty good about it.
Yeah, this is stage 3. Fabian Burrell actually moved up on this one. He won this one with a time of 3 minutes 44, 5.6 seconds in front of Jerome Clements. So, you know,